Susa is one of the most ancient cities in the world existing today. Archaeological findings indicate signs of civilization there before 4,000 years BC. The name of the city appears in the biblical books of Daniel, Nehemiah, and Esther. The ancient Susa is located in what is now Midwestern Iran, close to Iraq. It used to be the capital of the Kingdom of Elam. In 647 BC, Susa was taken, looted, and destroyed by the Assyrian king Ashurbanipal. The ruins of Susa was rebuilt around 519 BC by Darius I, the fourth emperor of the Persian Empire. And it became a magnificent city as described in the book of Esther. My dear friends, what we are looking at is the remains of the royal palace of Susa on a vast land on a hilltop, right by the modern city of Susa. The enormous palace buildings include the Apadna Palace, which took 3 acres of land, and the Inner Court Palace, which occupied 10 acres of land. By the time Ahasuerus, son of Darius, was enthroned, Susa had become the administrative center of the Persian Empire. All the events recorded in the book of Esther happened here. The Jewish festival of Purim also originated from this city.
Purim is the most interesting and earth-shaking day of celebration in the Jewish calendar. Purim originally means lots in Hebrew. The climax of Purim is when people of all ages gather together in the evening, listening to their rabbi reading the book of Esther.
King Ahasuerus had a huge banquet in his palace in Susa, which lasted for half a year. The purpose of the festival was to celebrate the completion of the palace.
The Apadina Palace was a grand colonnade-style construction. The Apadina was a square, with each side 109 meters long, which was supported by 36 white onyx columns of 22 meters high. It is written in Esther chapter 1 that there were white and blue curtains fastened with white and purple cords to the silver rings embedded in marble pillars. The ground was covered with red, white, yellow, and black marble. All the cups and plates on the tables were made with shiny, pure gold and pure silver. As was described in Esther chapter 1, verse 7, drinks were served in golden goblets, goblets of different kinds.
The whole process of how the Persian Empire selected their queen. The officials in charge of the beauty pageant in respective provinces would first select the eligible young girls and send them to Susa. These girls would then be in the custody of chief eunuch Haggai, who was the keeper of women for the king's palace. Haggai arranged for them to live in the harem. Esther chapter 2 verses 7 to 8 state that among the chosen there was a young girl by the name of Hadassah. Hadassah in Hebrew means myrtles. After entering the king's palace, Hadassah changed her name to Esther, which in Persian means star, probably because the myrtle's flowers look very similar to stars.
In the 10th month, which is the month of Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign, the king was so well pleased with Esther that he set the royal crown on her head and made her queen instead of Vashti. According to Esther chapter 3 verse 13, the date was set on the 13th day of the month of Adar to eliminate all Jews as the result of the caste Purim.
In fact, the Bible tells us that the Jews encountered quite a few times the crisis of being totally eliminated.
The first mention of the threat of the Jews being eliminated was in the book of Exodus. The Pharaoh then gave orders that all males born of Hebrew people must be thrown into the Nile. The second crisis of Jews facing the danger of being wiped out was recorded in book of 2 Kings, when the kingdom of Judah was overtaken by the Babylonians in 586 BC, and all the able-bodied Jews were taken captive to Babylon as slaves. Hitler also intended to annihilate all the Jews during World War II. The excuse he had for doing that was alarmingly similar to what was mentioned in the book of Esther. In his order for the killing of the Jews, Hitler accused the Jews of disturbing world peace, just like Haman accused Jews of disobeying the laws.
As a result of Haman's deceit, King Ahasuerus made a decision that changed the fate of the Jews.